Hey everybody, Billboard Chart Guy here, and welcome to the latest episode of BBCG and Friends, and we have a special episode here. Well, first of all, this is my first episode with two panelists, so I want to welcome Steve Shao and Melissa Gorman. Guys, welcome to the show again.
Thanks, Bill.
Glad to be here again, Bill. I enjoyed chatting with you as always.
Oh, thank you. So this episode is being released on Groundhog Day, and as we all know, at least I found out about 30 seconds ago, if a groundhog sees his shadow, that means there's 6 more weeks of winter. And I don't know about the rest of you, but I am just sick of winter already and dreaming of warmer days where golf and, drinks on a porch and, just general chill are going to occur. So with that thought in mind, being sick of winter, we had the brainstorm of putting together a summer song snake draft, where we're each going to pick 5 of our favorite summer songs. We have specific categories for each of the songs. We're going to each choose one song from the 70s, one song from the 80s, one from the 90s. We're going to have a wild card, which could be from any time or place. We're going to choose a cover, our favorite summertime cover, and then a category which I'm calling retail or dental. So think about songs as you're sitting in your dentist waiting room or walking around a store that you might hear. You might hear it on an elevator. Just a kind of a song that you kind of hear in those settings. That reminds you of summer. So with that preamble, guys, I'll throw it to you, and why don't you tell me what a summer song means to each of you? Melissa, you want to go first?
Sure. So for me, I have a couple of different interpretations. So you'll see that my songs can either fit into one category or the other, with those 2 categories being kind of songs that are like a summer vibe, a summer jam that make you think of what you were just talking about, right? Warm weather, being out on a beach or just hanging out at your lake house or whatever. And then there's other songs that I would say are like bring you back to a specific summer year. So for example, like there's just a song that dominates a summer, and it doesn't happen every single year, but every few years there's just a song that you can't get away from during the summer. So most of my songs will fit into one of those 2 categories. And that was kind of the structure that I was using in choosing the songs for this.
All right. Makes sense. Steve, what about yourself?
Yeah, I did something similar. I came up with 3 criteria for a summer song and made the demand of myself that each one of my songs must meet at least 2 of these 3 criteria. And that would be the song must be about summer. The song must have strong ties to summer memories, and that can be a little more personal. Or the song should be played loudly in the car with the windows rolled down.
I like that one. Yeah, for me, it really was more of a feeling, right? Or it brought back a memory. For sure, whether growing up or, when the kids were little or something like that. So it's kind of a broad thing, but we're narrowing it down to 15 songs that we're gonna call out today. And as a follow-up, we'll put out a playlist for everyone and share it with everyone. So if they want to check it out, they'll be able to do that. All right, so we did a draft. We did one of those Wheel of Fortune things, and the draft order for the snake draft is myself, Melissa, then Steve. So with that, I get the first pick. So I'm very excited, and I'm going to go to the 70s first, because I kind of think Steve might be on to this one. So I want to make sure I block him and get my point of view out with this. Oh yeah, absolutely. So I'm going with The Boys Are Back in Town by Thin Lizzy.
Nice.
All right. So great rock song. it got to, it got to number 12 on the Hot 100 back in 75, 76. To me, this is like the definitive boys summer song, right? And even like to this day, when I see my friends and we go away for a golf weekend, it's kind of in my mind. Or it took me back to like when you would come home from college and you would see your high school friends and you'd go out that first or second time with them. I love this song so much. I could play this on an eternal loop. I love, I got some lyrics here. Friday night, they'll be dressed to kill down at Dino's Bar and Grill. I want to go to Dino's Bar and Grill, wherever that is. That sounds like the place to be. That jukebox in the corner blasting out my favorite song. The nights are getting warmer. It won't be long. Won't be long till summer comes, now that the boys are here again. I love this song. These guys are criminally underrated, in my opinion, as a band. But this is by far my favorite Thin Lizzy song. So my first choice is The Boys Are Back in Town.
Great song. Good choice. Good choice.
All right.
Definitely. I like that song.
Okay. Melissa, where are you going with your first pick?
I'm actually going to stay in the 70s, although not nefariously to block Steve, but I'll just stick with the theme that we started. I am going to go with Sister Golden Hair by America.
Well, that was a top 3 for me. I'm glad I didn't.
Oh no! Wow. Okay. For me, this song just evokes, and I think this is true of a lot of America songs, is just kind of the California vibe and sunshine. It's about obviously a blonde in a relationship with this guy. But I picked it because I love this song. It's like 3 minutes and 22 seconds of pure pop perfection. And it's kind of in the vibe with that singer-songwriter / country rock sound that was kind of gaining traction in the mid-70s. It was released as a single from their 5th album, which was called Hearts. And this came out in May of 1975. And it reached number 1 in June and stayed there for a week. And America was a little bit interesting because they were a trio, and all of their dads were in the Air Force, and so their dads were serving in England, and the 3 of them formed their band. And as soon as they got a hit with Horse with No Name, they relocated to LA and just really got into the vibe out there. And this song actually was inspired by Jackson Browne's songwriting, and actually it ended up charting higher than anything Jackson Browne ever wrote or recorded up till that time. And a lot of people don't know this, but it was produced by the Beatles producer, George Martin. So you can kind of, if you know that, you can kind of understand, like there's a lot of slick harmonies and you can sense that production level there. And it has a lap steel guitar in the song, and that was inspired by George Harrison and his song, My Sweet Lord. And just a couple of quick fun facts about it. This song was used in season 3 of The Sopranos, if you're a Sopranos fan, when Bobby Bacalieri Sr. has murdered that guy and he's driving away and he has this huge coughing fit. This song is playing on the radio when he crashes his car and ultimately dies. So that was like an interesting juxtaposition by David Chase there. And then Phil Hartman of Saturday Night Live fame, also a great Simpsons voice. He was a graphic designer before becoming a comedy star, and he did the cover art for this album.
Huh.
Yeah, I saw them not too long ago in Lynn Memorial Auditorium, and with the exception of one of the singers, they were fantastic. They were absolutely
good. I'd love to hear that.
Yeah, I love their harmonies. Ventura Highway could have easily been on this list too.
Yeah,
I think that's a great pick.
So I'm mad at you because I had them for my dental / retail.
Wow.
So you blocked me.
Heisman.
So I'm scrambling now for a dental retail song, but I have it. Wow, great. I love that song. Yeah, it's perfect. I love the end. Right? Well, the yeah. Really good. Really
and I don't know
choice.
if you guys notice, I tweet a lot of like musical performances on X, and I will never not retweet that song because it's so great.
Yeah.
And you probably have you're blonde, so you probably love that too yourself with it.
Going more gray than blonde these days, but don't tell anybody.
Steve, you have the next two picks.
All right. Yeah. So, in the 70s here, I'm going with one from that was released in the summer of 76. It was a song actually written, we're inspired by a Motown Picnic by Stevie Wonder. You might have thought I'd been going there, Bill, with Stevie Wonder. Yeah. One of my all-time favorite songs, it's I Wish, which is a fantastic song. Starts with a great bass groove. He was, when at the time he wrote it, he was thinking about simpler times growing up, and we're garden hose kids, we're Gen X, and it really has that vibe. Little tidbit about this song: both this and Boz Scaggs' Lowdown were the music playing when John Travolta was walking through the streets at the beginning of Saturday Night Fever as inspiration. It was only later that they put in the Bee Gees. So a fun one there, and it did reach number one in 1977.
Nice. Love Stevie, and
he's great.
Great. Yeah, that period. I think I just tweeted out something about the song "As" recently. That whole era is just he was so good. Peak Stevie Wonder. That's a great song. Good call. What do you like? What do you have for your next pick?
All right, so going to cover because I don't want to lose this one. This is going back to August 1990. For me, this has a lot of memories of like going to football camp my junior year, playing this loud. I had just gotten my license, so I was driving around blasting this with the windows rolled down, and that's Hard to Handle by Black Crowes, the cover of Otis Redding.
Nice.
Great. I love that first album, Steve.
So good.
Yeah. So many good songs on that, and the second album too, Remedy.
Yeah, that Remedy song is great. Yeah,
great song. At the time I didn't realize it was an Otis Redding cover, but you could hear it obviously. Yeah, really good. Have you ever seen the Crowes live?
No, I wish I had. They did come to Boston not too long ago, and I wanted to make it, but I couldn't. But I feel like that's one of the last great rock and roll bands that you just don't see around anymore, and I would definitely want to see them.
What about you, Melissa? Have you seen them?
I have not, no.
Yeah. I saw them twice. I saw them once in '92 on the Southern Harmony, whatever that second album tour was called. And then I saw them once at a Horde festival in the later 90s. The jam band, Blues Traveler, had that Horde festival.
Some great bands played in that. I love the Horde band.
Yeah. They're actually putting out a documentary about that.
It's great.
Horde. Yeah, it's coming out, I think later this year. I heard an interview with Popper recently. So Hard to Handle. So we got two from Steve. Melissa, you're up next. Where are you going?
I'm going to stick with cover songs. I actually found this category to be the hardest for me for whatever reason, but I finally landed on In the Summertime by Shaggy featuring Ray Vaughan. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with the original. It was recorded by Mungo Jerry and released in 1970. It was actually written by Mungo Jerry's lead singer, Ray Dorset, in about 10 minutes while he was working for Timex, the watch company. The original song contains no drum, just percussive foot tapping.
Yep.
But Shaggy obviously covered it in the 90s and released it. He was originally born in Kingston, but he moved to New York City when he was 18. And he eventually joined the Marines and was like practicing his toasting is what they call it. It's, the reggae version of rap. So he released his version in June of 1995, and it peaked at number 3 in August of 1995. And obviously it's a reggae / dance hall version of In the Summertime. It's been included in an episode of Baywatch, and it's been in a couple other things like the movie Flipper and the movie Barnyard and Mr. Bean's Holiday. But it's a funky version of In the Summertime. So like I said, this was a harder category for me. So I really enjoy this song. And this kind of fits in with the summertime vibe.
Yep, absolutely. I love Shaggy. I love Boombastic, and he's done a bunch of fun songs. He
Carolina.
did that song with Janet Jackson. He did a song with. He's fun. And more recently, he's done work with Sting, which is kind of a weird combo. They put an album out together.
Boombastic is my older daughter's go-to karaoke song. So,
is it? That's so funny.
Familiar with the
Mr. Lover.
Yeah. I love the original too. That Mungo Jerry song is great. I do love that song.
Yeah, you know what? That has a very problematic line in that they talk, the singer's like, if the daddy's rich, take her out for a meal. If the daddy's poor, just do what you feel. So that's
Hey, baby, it's cold outside. What are we going to do?
A little cringy there.
All right. Well, my turn, and I get the next two. So I'm going to put this one out there because this potentially Melissa could steal from me also. Got to have a little Bruce on your summer playlist. So I'm going with Sherry Darling.
Good one.
Yeah. So Sherry Darling's Off the River. It was released as a single, but it never charted in the States. Some of my favorite Springsteen lyrics on there, but it's mostly like fun and silly. The story of the song is he's stuck with his girlfriend is bringing her mother all around, and he has to schlep her all over town to the unemployment office to work, and he's just had it. So in the verse 2, it's now there's girls melting on the beach. Oh, they're so fine and so out of reach, because I'm stuck in traffic down here on 53rd Street. Now, Sherry, my love for you is real, but I didn't count on this package deal. And baby, this car ain't just big enough for her and me. So he hates this girl's mother. He cannot stand it. But that one of the great things about the river is, there's half of it is like fun party summer songs, really, whether you think about Cadillac Ranch or I'm a Rocker, or You Can Look But You Better Not Touch It. All of them invoke a summer feel, but then there's the other side of the river with some of the slower story songs. It makes it a fantastic collection. So I wanted to get a Bruce on here before Melissa did, so I accomplished my goal. So Sherry Darling is my poll for the 80s. And I have my next pick, and I'm going to go with my cover, and I'm going to go with the Who's version of Summertime Blues, which was originally done by Eddie Cochran in the 50s.
Yeah.
The Who put this out on their Live at Leeds album in 1970, and it actually got to number 27 on the Hot 100. There have been a lot of covers of this song, and Melissa could speak of this. Bruce has covered this song many times live in concert. Others have done it as well. I just love the problem that this guy has as a teenager, trying to either see his girl or just not work. Every time I call my baby, try to get a date, my boss says, no,
you gotta work late.
You gotta work late. Yeah. So teenage angst to the nth. So Summertime Blues, but I like the Who's version for our playlist here.
Yeah, I love that original. It's so good. What a great summer song that is.
Yeah, terrific. Melissa, you're up.
Okay, so I'm going to come at Bruce by a different angle, and it's going to be a little bit roundabout, but I'll jump into the 80s. So my 80s song is I Can Dream About You by Dan Hartman. This song just brings me instantly back to the summer of 1984. I anxiously awaited this song. I don't know how I got initially exposed to it, but once I heard it, I loved it. I couldn't wait for it to be released, and it eventually came out on the Streets of Fire soundtrack. Dan Hartman was originally a member of the Edgar Winter Group in the 70s, and he actually wrote Free Ride when he was with them.
Okay.
He went solo in 1976 and had a couple of dance hits with some disco songs. Like, I don't know if you remember the song Instant Replay. That was the one that I recalled. And he had another one called Relight My Fire, which I wasn't familiar with. But I Can Dream About You was released in April of '84 on the Streets of Fire soundtrack and peaked at number 6 in August of that year. And he had originally written it for Hall & Oates, but they declined it at the time because they didn't have room for it on Big Bam Boom, even though they were later recorded that song for an album of covers called Our Kind of Soul. So jumping back to the soundtrack for a second, Jimmy Iovine had asked Hartman to write a song for this soundtrack and told him that he was going to have 4 Black actors singing the song in the film. And Hartman obviously had already written this song and suggested using it, but he negotiated that if it was to be in the movie, that he would have to do the vocals for it. And that's actually what ended up happening. And I bring this up as kind of a roundabout Springsteen reference because obviously Streets of Fire is also a Springsteen song, and it was supposed to be in the film. But during the discussion around it, the song was going to originally be sung by a female lead, which Bruce was totally not on board with. So he withdrew his permission to use the song in the film, and they had to pivot to their other plans. The movie itself at the time was kind of a box office failure with mixed critical reviews. I saw it at the time, and it wasn't my jam. I was a little disappointed in it. But since then, it's gained a pretty big cult following, especially among Gen Zers. My son and his friends love this movie, which is crazy. But this song was everywhere that summer, and I love it. So, and that's why it reminds me of summer of '84. So that's why I included it here.
That was a good summer.
It was.
Yes.
Yeah, really good pop song. But boy, now I want to go listen to Instant Replay by Dan Hartman. Now that you mentioned that, because I completely forgot about that song. That was a great one.
He ended up passing away pretty young. I think he died in the mid 90s. He had a brain tumor, but he also was HIV positive and never got treated for it.
Well, that's too bad. Crossing off stuff. Steve, you got 2.
I'll stick it in the 80s for my first one here. I know Kirk always talks about 1984. Melissa, you just referenced summer of '84. Great summer for me too. But '82 was like the summer where I came alive with music. I turned 8 years old that summer, so I was young. Kirk and I are the same age, but it was the first year that my parents let me walk to the community pool by myself, and every summer we'd just hang out with my friends, listen to the boombox. So '82, we were listening to songs like Joe Jackson, Steppin' Out, Human League, Don't You Want Me, Toto, Rosanna, The Motels, Only the Lonely, Flock of Seagulls I ran. So all those great songs. I wanted to go with a John Cougar song because he was big that year, and that was Hurt So Good. I just think it's a great rock and roll song.
Awesome. Love that song.
Yeah, and it was that between that and Jack and Diane, but Hurt So Good, that peaked at number 2 in the summer of '84. Summer of '82. So I figured that's the one I should roll with there. I love that song.
Yeah, and he'll be in Mansfield this summer.
Yeah, I saw him on Joe Rogan. Yeah, he's going on tour. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. My wife just informed me that her and her sister got tickets, so they will be attending. Yes. Right. Very cool. What's your second
dental
one?
Song. I get to steal everybody's dental song here because I know somebody's got this. Summer Breeze, Seals and Cross. I know that's got to be on somebody's list. Great summertime song. When I think of summer, for me, it's yacht rock as a soundtrack of summer. Maybe mix in a little country, but this song comes up on heavy rotation every summer for me. Gives off those summer vibes and the dental office vibes too. So I think it's the perfect song for the category.
100%.
Yeah. I might argue that they belong on the yacht rock Mount Rushmore.
They might. And actually, Jim Seal's brother Dan is in English Dan, and
right, John
Coley.
Yeah. They have a couple great yacht rock songs too.
Yeah. Summer Breeze is great. What were some of the other Seals and Crofts songs?
Diamond Girl.
That was Firefall, I think. Wasn't that Firefall?
That was Seals and Crofts.
Oh, it was.
My mother was a huge
that is
Seals and Crofts fan.
Yep.
They did We May Never Pass This Way Again.
Yep.
Well, Get Closer.
On the Freedom Rock
Get Closer.
Everybody remembers the Freedom Rock commercial.
Yeah.
The hippie with the headband on. Yeah.
Yeah. Get Closer is the one I was trying to remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good one.
Yeah.
Very cool. Seals and Crofts getting a call out. First time on BBCG and Friends. All right. Melissa, what do you got for your fourth pick?
All right, so I'm going to stick with the dental office theme and go to my backup selection because Steve Shaw stole mine.
You stole mine.
I'm going to go with Lovely Day by Bill Withers for my
great one.
Song.
Great one.
Yeah, it's a very summery jam. Bill Withers is an interesting dude because he really wasn't a performer until he was about 29 years old. He was in the Navy. And once he got out of the Navy, he was working on an assembly line for a bunch of different places like Douglas Aircraft, Ford, and IBM. So that was what he was doing during the day. And then at night, he was like going around making demos, trying to perform live. But he eventually left the rock and roll industry in like the mid 80s after becoming disenchanted with it. So he didn't really do much after that. But Bill Withers' Lovely Day was released in December of 77. It's on his 6th album. Ray Parker Jr. plays guitar on it. I don't know if anyone knows that. No. And then there's a sustained note in the chorus at the end of the song that Withers holds for 18 seconds. And supposedly it's the longest note held in any top 40 song.
I was just about to ask you if you think you could hold that note.
Oh, I definitely could not. And just a fun fact, it was used in a 1999 popular Gap commercial, and most recently Amazon Prime used it in their ad for the 2026 Masters coverage.
Yeah.
Okay. Bringing Steve Shaw into it with a little golf reference.
There we go.
Nice. Yeah, absolutely. Get to know the audience here.
He was great. Ain't No Sunshine When She's Gone is a great song as well. All right, it's my turn. I get 2, right? I think so. Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So I better get my retail dental out. I had to pivot, and I went with Take It Easy by the Eagles.
Good one.
Yeah, the written by Jackson Browne, and was a big hit on the Eagles' first album in 1972. Just invokes, just laid back and I'm standing on a corner in Winslow, Arizona, such a fine sight to see. It's a girl, my lord, in a flatbed Ford, slowing down to take a look at me. That's incredible. Those lyrics are incredible. I don't know how Jackson Browne put all that together. Last year, I drove out to California with my son, and I made him stop in Winslow, Arizona. And we have a bunch of pictures. There's a whole corner dedicated to the song and artwork all around it. So love the Eagles. Just a tremendous song that reminds me of being young, but also just the vibe is so summery. So that's my retail dental. Take it easy. And I'm going to the 90s now. And I am going with Fantastic Voyage by Coolio.
There we go.
This is from his debut album in 1994, It Takes a Thief, with probably, I say this a lot, these are some of my favorite lyrics. Come on, y'all, let's take a ride. Don't you say shit, just get inside. It's time to take your ass on another kind of trip because you can't have the hop if you don't have the hip. Come on. That is so good. I love it. The video is great. They're driving around in a convertible, just all over Southern California. I love this era of hip hop, Coolio and Naughty by Nature and Heavy D and the Boys, like the hip hop that was really, really popular. I didn't go too deep into the category, but just fun songs that kind of just got everybody up and dancing, and Fantastic Voyage is just such a great summer song. I don't know what you guys think of it.
Fun song for sure. Absolutely.
All right. I got Fantastic Voyage. All right. Melissa, what do you got?
Did we lose her?
I do not know. Do we dare go out of order until she's back in?
I'd love to get my 90s one in there because I don't really have a backup.
Well, I'm going to make a commissioner's decision here, and I'll let you do that.
Okay. All right. In the interest of keeping it moving, I'm going to go with keeping on the hip hop tip. Summertime by DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. May of 91 released. I'm from the Philadelphia area, so this was obviously
That's right.
a big hit in Philly back then, and really gives those summertime vibes, cruising the streets, catcalling girls, out there having fun with your guys, going and playing basketball, all that fun stuff. And great line from that is, she turned around, see what you're keeping at. It's like the summer's a natural aphrodisiac. It's just a great line from a fun song.
Oh, I love that song. That's a good call. And Melissa,
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we got
Now
you
we
now.
can.
Perfect timing.
Perfect. Nice.
all right.
I could hear you guys, but you guys couldn't hear me.
Okay.
I'm going to go to the 90s, and this is probably going to get me dragged a little bit, but my song for the 90s is Mbop by Hanson, Three Brothers. This song was everywhere in 1997, so that's why I picked it. It's a fun earworm type of jam that people either love or hate, so that's why I thought I might get dragged a little bit. Again, the Hansons were three brothers that wrote their own song, so that was good on them for that. This song was everywhere, like I said, in 97. It was released in March. It went to #1 the week of May 24th that year, and it stayed in the top 10 basically the whole summer until the beginning of August. It was nominated for Grammy Record of the Year. It was number one in at least 12 countries. Like I said, it's just a fun jam. Fun fact about it, that Hanson announced in 2011 that they would be selling their own IPA called Hop.
Okay. Steve, what do you think of that song?
I certainly appreciate its position in history. It's a little bubblegum and saccharine for me, but I to your point, when it's on, you're singing along with it because it's stuck in your head, and you're probably going to sing it for a couple more days. But it was ubiquitous in summer 97 for sure.
Yeah, this is probably where my gender is showing.
Well, I will say this selection is probably why we've gotten along so well over the last year, because I freaking love this song. I love it. And there's a version. Have you ever seen them do an unplugged version of this song?
I don't think I have.
I have. Yeah.
It's go on YouTube and it's tremendous. But
they're tight. They're a good band. There's nothing wrong with them. They are very good.
Yeah, really good. Well, I'm glad you picked that. This is going to be a fun playlist to listen to. All right, Steve, why don't you give us your last pick? So we all have our wild cards left.
So I'm going country here. Summertime by Kenny Chesney, April of 2006. Made #1 on the Hot 100 country charts that summer in June. I can relate to this, the lyrics in this one, and certainly the tune is fun if you know the song. My mom worked part-time in a deli growing up, so after every swim practice in the summer, I would go see her. She would fix me up a hoagie, and I get a Yoo-Hoo too. And there's a song about Yoo-Hoo bottles rolling on the floorboard, and then go in the swimming hole with a bunch of friends. So great line in there. Temperature says 93 down with the deposit and guarantee, but the swimming hole is nice and cold. Bikini bottoms underneath, but the boys' hearts still skip a beat when them girls shimmy off them old cutoffs. So shout out to Heather King and Jenna Allen. That was a blast in those days. It's just a great song that brings me back to fun teenage years and earlier than that as well.
I don't know it. Do you know it, Melissa?
I do. Yeah.
I don't know this song. Okay. I'll take your word for it, Steve.
All right.
Melissa, what's your final pick?
All right, I'm making a tough decision here. I'm going to go with Walking on Sunshine by Katrina and the Waves, strictly because it just reminds me of when I was 16 years old. It came out in the summer of '85. It reminds me of hanging with my friends, two of whom I still go to concerts with present day. So a little continuity around within my life, which is nice. It's just a fun song, right? It's got a great hooky chorus. It was originally meant to be a ballad, but they transformed it into kind of this poppy up-tempo jam. It's about waiting for a visit from your most significant other and being excited about it. It's been covered a bunch of times. It's also been in a ton of different movies and TV shows, but just a fun summer song.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. And I was hoping somebody would have that. I was debating it as my wild card, but I couldn't pull the trigger, and I'm glad you did. That this might be, if and we've talked, Melissa, about the 80s. This might be the quintessential 80s pop song.
Yeah, it's up there.
Yeah.
It's got to be up there.
Yeah.
It's got to be up there. And was this their only hit?
Yeah, I believe so. It peaked at number 9 in June of '85.
Okay.
I didn't do a deep dive into Katrina and the Waves' other music.
Not that I picked them, but the Go-Go's always remind me of summertime.
For sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. Whether it's Vacation or
Our Lips Are Sealed.
Our Lips Are Sealed. Yeah, that's a group that always reminds me of summer. I did not pick them. I picked for my final choice and my wild card a song from my favorite current band, the Hold Steady. They have a song called Constructive Summer, which is basically a song about a bunch of buddies who hang out in the woods and drink beer and have a ball all summer long. They talk about climbing to the top of the water tower and drink and talk, and just it's a fun song. It's from their 4th album, which is called Stay Positive. Just announced they're doing 4 nights in Boston starting on April 30th, and I can't be any more excited.
Are you going to see all dates?
It's up in the air just right now. I'm just coming back to seeing 4 dates in Brooklyn, so I'm not sure if I'm going to get the permission to do all 4 nights, but I'll do at least 2, I would say. But I love this band and gladly putting this on a playlist for you guys and some of the other Minifans to take a listen to and see what they think of Constructive Summer by the Hold Steady.
I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah.
I can't believe nobody chose girls in their summer clothes with this crew.
That's my favorite Bruce Springsteen song.
Mine too. And I'm not even that into Bruce, and that's my favorite song.
I love that song.
Yeah.
And I specifically didn't select it because I was trying to go a little bit more mainstream.
Sure.
Try to find songs that people would have either heard before or could relate to. But yeah, that's my favorite Bruce song.
You probably could have put any song from Born to Run on this list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
10th
for
Avenue
sure.
Freeze Out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 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 Backstreets as well. So this is great. Is there any, like I mentioned, the Go-Go's? Are there any other artists that remind you guys of summer, or thinking
Yeah, I
back?
think Christopher Cross and Michael McDonald. I think just
Yep.
the whole yacht rock vibe. Yeah, so those two guys really jump out to me.
Yep. What about you, Melissa?
Yeah, I would throw in maybe Bananarama there too, because Cruel Summer was on my list. I almost went with that for one of the categories. They remind me a lot of summer. Who else? Yeah, just the whole yacht rock. You can slot any yacht rock song into just about any summer draft.
Bob Marley too,
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'm so mad about Sister Golden Hair that you got that one.
Yeah.
I'm so immature. All right. Well, I think we did it, guys. This was a lot of fun. So I will, once the episode's out, I will put out the playlist of these 15 songs in the order that they were drafted. So we'll see if this flow has any rhyme or reason to it. But I want to thank you both for joining me again on BBCG and Friends, and hope to talk to you both soon. And of course, I want to thank Menners, and I want to thank Kirk for creating this crazy world that we call the Miniverse. So thanks, everybody, and have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.